We are discussing the chapter first, that is nutrition in plants. In our previous video, we had discussed about the autotrophic mode of nutrition, that is the mode of nutrition in which an organism can synthesize its own food. And the organisms which can synthesize their own food are known as autotrophs. The green plants are referred as autotrophs because they can synthesize their own food by the use of carbon dioxide, water, in the presence of sunlight, in the chlorophyll of leaves. The process is named as photosynthesis. In our previous video, we had discussed about the conditions required for photosynthesis. Now, moving ahead, we'll discuss the next mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. There are some plants which are non-green plants, which do not perform photosynthesis. Those will require certain extra nutrients, and for them, they depends on a different mode of nutrition that is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. This phenomena is also referred as heterotropism. If we segregate this term, hetero means others and tropism means mode of nutrition. So the mode of nutrition in which a non-green plant or a simpler plant absorb the food or the nutrients from other organisms, from other plants, that is known as a saprotrophic mode of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. वो mode of nutrition बचे जिसमें एक organism, एक plant, as we are discussing the nutrition in plants, अपने food के लिए, अपनी nutrient की requirement के लिए किसी दूसरे plant पर dependent है, किसी दूसरे plant की help लेता है बच्चे, उसे हम बोलते हैं heterotrophic mode of nutrition or heterotrophism. And the plant which follow that mode of nutrition is known as heterotroph. Plant जो इस mode of nutrition को follow करते हैं उन्हें heterotrophs कहते हैं, and this particular phenomena or this particular mode of nutrition is referred as heterotrophism. Heterotrophism is further classified into three subtypes. It has further three subtypes. The first one is saprotrophic mode of nutrition. It is also referred as saprophytic mode of nutrition. Again, बच्चे will segregate the term. The sapro means dead and decaying, जो मर गए हैं और मरने के बाद गल सड़ रहे हैं बच्चे, decay हो रहे हैं. And tropic means tropism, and tropism means mode of nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which a plant, a non-green plant, obtain its nutrients, obtain its food from the dead and decaying organic matter of plants and animals is known as, or is called, saprotrophic mode of nutrition or saprotropism. The mode of nutrition in which a plant absorb its nutrients or food from the dead and decaying matter of plants and animals. Here a terms come bache, that is organic matter. Organic means the compounds usually made up of carbon are referred as organic compounds. So this is organic matter. Next term is saprophytes. Sapro means dead and decaying, and phyte word is taken from phyton, and phyton means plants. The plants which use saprotrophic mode of nutrition, that is, they depends on the dead and decaying matter of animals and plants, those plants are referred as saprophytes. वो plants बच्चों जो अपने nutritional requirement के लिए, जो अपने food के लिए saprotrophic mode of nutrition को follow करते हैं, that means dead or decaying matter से अपने nutrients को absorb करते हैं, those are referred as saprophytes. The example of saprophytes are Indian pipe and coral root. These are the two plants which usually found in our areas, nearby regions, and they follow saprophytic mode of nutrition. Next, we'll discuss about the fungi. Fungi are neither considered as plants nor as animals. Initially, fungi was kept in plant kingdom. शुरू में क्या किया गया बच्चे, fungi को plant kingdom में रख दिया गया. In class 9th, you will study a chapter named as diversity in living organisms. In that, you will study that living organisms are classified into 5 kingdom classification system. जितने भी living organism हैं बच्चे बहुत सारे हैं, उन्हें 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन सिस्टम में हमने डिफरेंशिएट किया है, मोनेरा, प्रोटिस्टा, फंजाई, प्लांटे एंड एनिमलिया। तो बच्चे फंजाई पहले प्लांटे में रखे गए थे, क्यों? इनके कुछ कैरेक्टर प्लांट्स जैसे थे, बट सारे कैरेक्टर प्लांट जैसे नहीं थे। तो वी मेक अ सेपरेट किंगडम फॉर देम, वी मेक अ स्पेशल डिवीजन फॉर देम, एंड दैट इज नोन एज फंजाई। फंगस को हमने अलग क्लास इनके नाम पर ही वो बना दी, फंजाई, फंगस। फंगस इज सिंगुलर एंड फंजाई इज प्लूरल। They also show the saprotropic mode of nutrition. They depends on the dead and decaying plants and animals. ये बच्चे मरे हुए और गले सड़े प्लांट एंड एनिमल्स पर डिपेंडेंट हैं। The more common fungi which you will observe in your life is umbrella mushroom. आपने बच्चे अम्ब्रेला मशरूम जरूर देखे और खाए होंगे, व्हाइट से कलर के अम्ब्रेला के जैसे स्ट्रक्चर है, लाइक दिस। These umbrella mushrooms are fungi. It's a one variety of fungi. There are two kinds of fungi. One is edible, which we can eat easily, and other ones are poisonous or non-edible, which are harmful for us and which we don't eat. So, बच्चे fungi also follow saprotropism or saprotropic mode of nutrition. That's why they are known as saprotrophs, but not saprophytes. Phyte word is for plants only. They are referred as saprotrophs, not saprophytes. The next mode of nutrition, the next heterotrophic mode of nutrition is parasitic mode of nutrition. It is also referred as parasitism. In saprotrophic, one organism is living and other one is dead. एक living है बच्चे और वो dead और decaying पे खा रहा है. In parasitic, the one living organism lives in or on the body of another living organism. पैरासिटिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन एक ऐसा मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन है बच्चों जिसमें एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म दूसरे लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म की बॉडी पर रहता है। नाउ वी आर डिस्कसिंग न्यूट्रिशन इन प्लांट्स। सो इन दिस अ लिविंग प्लांट लिव्स इन और ऑन द बॉडी ऑफ अनदर लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म और प्लांट टू ऑब्टेन इट्स न्यूट्रिशन, टू ऑब्टेन इट्स न्यूट्रिशनल रिक्वायरमेंट इज नोन एज पैरासिटिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन। In this mode of nutrition, two living organisms are there. One is parasite and other one is host. The organisms which lives on the body of another is known as parasite. Host, the organism on whose body a parasite lives, is known as host. बच्चे parasite वो है जो host की body पर रह रहा है। Parasite को तो फायदा होगा, क्यों? उसे उसके nutrients मिल जाएंगे, वो ready-made nutrients जो host ने बनाए अपने लिए, और ले कौन जाएगा उनको? पैरासाइट्स। तो बच्चे पैरासाइट को फायदा हो गया और होस्ट को हार्म। तो इन दिस मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन पैरासाइट इज बेनिफिटेड एंड इन दिस होस्ट इज हार्म। इसको न्यूट्रिएंट्स का फायदा हो रहा है और इसको न्यूट्रिएंट्स का लॉस। सो दिस मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन इज पैरासिटिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन। वी आर डिस्कसिंग न्यूट्रिशन इन प्लांट्स बच्चे। सो प्लांट्स आर two kind of parasites. One is total or complete parasite and other ones are partial parasites. What do you mean by this? Actually, some kind of plants depends on other plant completely for their nutritional requirement. पूरी तरह से host पे dependent है। Water भी host का लेंगे, food भी host का लेंगे, support भी, shelter भी host का ही लेंगे। But there are certain plants which have green leaves. Green leaves means they can perform photosynthesis, they can make their own food. But to make food for water and minerals, they depends on the body of host. तो बच्चे खाना तो खुद बना रहे हैं, बट बच्चे खाना बनाने के लिए कुछ प्रोडक्ट इन्हें कहां से चाहिए? होस्ट से चाहिए। तो ये पूरी तरह से completely host पर डिपेंडेंट नहीं है। That's why they are known as partial parasite, आधे अधूरे parasite, and the other ones are complete parasites. I am repeating it again, beta. The parasites which depends on the body of host completely, पूरी तरह से host पे dependent है, they are known as complete or total parasite. Example, cuscuta. Cuscuta is also known as amarbale. It's a parasite, beta. It lives on the body of host plant and it has specialized structures named as hostoria. They are the special structures which it penetrates into the host body and absorb the nutrients. ये कांटो जैसी स्ट्रक्चर होती है, ऑस्टोरिया होस्ट के अंदर डालता है अमरबेल और कुस्कुटा और एब्जॉर्ब करता है न्यूट्रिएंट्स को। Remember one thing, but in your answer sheet, Amarvale is not considered as the true answer. You must have to write the Cuscuta. The next is partial parasite, which can synthesize their own food, and for water and minerals they depend on the body of host. The example of it is mistletoe. The next mode of nutrition, the next interrelationship among organisms which we discuss is symbiosis. Symbiosis means mutualism. The mode of nutrition in which the interrelationship in which two different plants, two different organisms lives together and benefit each other is known as symbiosis or mutualism. ये वो मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन है बच्चे, ये एक ऐसी एसोसिएशन है, एक ऐसा इंटर रिलेशनशिप है जिसमें दो ऑर्गेनिजम्स एक दूसरे के साथ रहते हैं, एक दूसरे के पास रहते हैं और दोनों एक दूसरे को एक बेनिफिट पहुंचाते हैं. दिस इज नोन एज symbiotic mode of interrelationship or symbiosis. This is also referred as mutualism. Mutualism is not written in your book, you can write it down from here. The most common example of mutualism which we can observe in our daily life, in our vicinity, is lichens. Lichens is a symbiotic relationship between alga and fungi. Algae have chlorophyll and can perform photosynthesis. They can synthesize their own food, whereas fungi, they do not have that mode of nutrition. We had discussed which they depends on the nutritional requirement for the other organisms. They are saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Saprotrophic mode of nutrition. So algae can synthesize their own food, but they do not have roots. So to stick at one place, to consile at one place, they require certain support. Fungi have certain root nodule-like structures, so they can stick at particular place, but cannot synthesize their own food. So algae provide them food, and fungi provide them shelter, provide them protection, water and minerals to prepare food. So both are benefiting each other. That's why this is referred as symbiosis. Algae जो है बच्चे फूड बना सकता है फोटोसिंथेसिस से, तो अपना फूड बनाता है, अपने लिए भी काम ला रहा है और फंजाई को भी दे रहा है. फंजाई एल्गी को क्या प्रोवाइड कर रहा है बदले में? प्रोटेक्शन, उसे बचाता है, उसे शेल्टर दे रहा है, रहने की जगह दे रहा है, उसे पानी प्रोवाइड करता है, उसे मिनरल्स देता है. तो दोनों को क्या हो रहा है? बेनिफिट एक दूसरे से. एंड दिस इज नोन एज सिम्बायोसिस. द अदर मोड इज एसोसिएशन ऑफ राइजोबियम बैक्टीरिया विद द लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट्स. Rhizobium is a form of bacteria which lives in the root nodules. Root nodules means बच्चे जो दालें होती है ना, pulses, they are leguminous plants. Why they are known as leguminous? Because their roots have certain nodules, certain legumes, गांठों जैसी स्ट्रक्चर है. These root nodules have bacteria residing in them. इन root nodules के अंदर क्या रहते हैं? बैक्टीरिया. कौन सा बैक्टीरिया? राइजोबियम. Why? These plants will form protein, and for protein, these plants require nitrogen. You must have studied in your previous classes that atmosphere has 78% nitrogen, but this nitrogen cannot be used by plants. But ये जो nitrogen है, ये plants use नहीं कर सकते. They require the nitrogen in soluble form, that is in the form of nitrates. Rhizobium converts that atmospheric nitrogen, that nitrogen gas, into nitrates and provide it to the leguminous plants. जो राइजोबियम बैक्टीरिया है बच्चे, ये एटमॉस्फेयर की नाइट्रोजन को नाइट्रेट्स में कन्वर्ट कर देता है और प्लांट्स को अवेलेबल करवा देता है बच्चे. नाइट्रेट इज अ सोल्यूबल फॉर्म. ये सोल्यूबल फॉर्म में पानी में घुल जाती है, तो प्लांट्स रूट्स के थ्रू एब्जॉर्ब कर पाते हैं. सो देयर इज अ सिम्बायोटिक रिलेशनशिप. राइजोबियम को रहने की जगह मिल रही है, इट गेट्स शेल्टर फ्रॉम द रूट नोड्यूल्स, एंड इन द एवरेज ऑफ दैट राइजोबियम इज प्रोवाइडिंग nitrates in the soil, nitrates to the leguminous plants by which they can synthesize their proteins. So both are benefiting each other. This is known as symbiotic mode of interrelationship or symbiosis. Next, rhizobium increases the nutrients, increases the nitrogen content in the soil. So they also helps in replenishment of nutrients in the soil. What do you mean by this? बच्चों, plants absorb the nutrients from the soil, so soil will be deficient of it. प्लांट्स न्यूट्रिएंट्स अब्सॉर्ब करते जा रहे हैं सॉइल से, तो सॉइल में न्यूट्रिएंट्स की क्या हो जाएगी, कमी हो जाएगी. उस न्यूट्रिएंट्स की कमी को पूरा करना क्या कहलाता है, रिप्लेनिशमेंट. री मतलब अगेन, प्लेनिश मींस उसे हरा भरा कर देना, उसे फिर से दोबारा फल फूल आ देना बच्चों. तो रिप्लेनिशमेंट मींस enriching of the soil with the nutrients again, and rhizobium is a natural way to increase the nitrogen content in the soil, hence helps in the replenishment of soil. Next we'll discuss a special mode of nutrition, that is insectivorous plants. Insectivorous mode of nutrition. There are certain plants which are green, which can prepare their own food, but for the requirement of nitrogen they have to kill, they have to feed upon the insects. कुछ ऐसे प्लांट्स भी हैं बच्चे नेचर में जो अपना खाना खुद बना सकते हैं, but to accomplish the nitrogen requirement for their plant, for their body, they need to kill the insects, and that insect eating plants, that insect killing plants are known as insectivorous plants. Pitcher plant, Utricularia, Drosera and Venus flytrap are the example of insectivorous plants. They kill the insects for nitrogen requirement and then accomplish that nitrogen requirement from it. What is the significance? What is the advantage of killing the insects? Nitrogen requirement. It's a very important 1 mark question for your question paper. Next is, plants can kill insects. That is very hard to digest. So for the killing of insects, the plants have modified themselves. Plants have certain modifications in them. We'll discuss one plant which has that modification, that is pitcher plant. What is the modification? The leaf of the pitcher plant is modified into a pitcher-like structure. Pitcher means घड़े जैसी structure. And the apex of the leaf, apex means the boundary, is modified into a lid-like structure. Lid means ढक्कन जैसी structure में convert हो गया. तो बच्चे leaf pitcher घड़े जैसा बन गया, और जो apex of leaf है, जो boundary है tip है leaf की, वो lid ढक्कन जैसी हो गई. When an insect sit over it, जैसे insect बैठता है, the lid closes. Lid, ये जो ढक्कन है, ये बंद हो जाएगा. Inside it, it has fine hair-like structure. इस पिक्चर प्लांट के अंदर हेयर जैसी स्ट्रक्चर है. जैसे ही बंद होगा, इंसेक्ट नीचे गिरेगा, those hair like structures will, allows that insect to move downwards. The insect will keep on moving downwards due to these hair like structures. Then it releases the digestive juice over that insect, and it will absorb the nitrogen content from the outer boundary of insect. So that's how insectivorous plants have certain modification. I'm explaining it to you again. The leaf of the pitcher plant is modified into a pitcher-like structure, and the apex of the leaf, the boundary of the leaf, will be modified into a lid-like structure. As the insect will sit on the lid-like structure to absorb the nectar, the lid closes. The insect will fall down. It has very sticky and fine hair-like structures which allow the downward movement of the insect, and then the pitcher plant will release the digestive enzymes, and those digestive enzymes will digest the outer body of the insect to get that nitrogen present in it.